Clear to lift the payload to the third level.
There are around 7 billion people on planet Earth, and nearly 6 billion are glued to their cell phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, maybe 1 billion. Anyhow, from texting to surfing the web and even watching TV, we use our cell phones to do just about everything today. We assume that these devices that we can't live without are safe for us, and if you ask any major cell phone manufacturer, they'll tell you that they are. But behind countless PR campaigns and corporate-funded studies lie the ugly, possible truth about the hidden effects that cell phones have on us. So if you think that talking on your cell phone for hours on end is perfectly safe, then everything you know is wrong.
We have an announcement finally on whether cell phones cause cancer. It's something that could affect all of us and our children. Scientists from the World Health Organization have been reviewing studies for the last week or so. I want to bring in our senior medical correspondent, Elizabeth Cohen, who joins us live with the findings. Essentially, what did they find?
The World Health Organization says that the radiation from mobile devices like cell phones is a possible carcinogen to humans.
Something else that might surprise you. The cell manufacturers themselves actually advise against putting the cell phone right next to your head or really anywhere in your body.
What is it that the industry knows about cell phones that you say they're not telling us?
Well, they know that cell phones are two-way microwave radios and that you should never hold them close to the brain or body, and that's what the fine print warnings tell us. They also know that these radio frequency signals from cell phones can damage DNA, and in animal studies show damage to the brain, liver, eyes, and skin.
In children, their skull is thinner, their scalp is thinner, so the microwave radiation can penetrate deeper into the brain of children and young adults. And their cells are dividing at a much faster rate, so the impact of the microwave radiation can be much larger.
But there have been no studies on children in cell phone safety.
An important new alert about the safety of cell phones and the possible risk of cancer, brain cancer in particular. It comes from the World Health Organization, the powerful health arm of the United Nations, and scientists from 14 countries have reversed those years of reassurance. After a new review of all the evidence, the scientists decided to put cell phones in the same risk category as chloroform, exhaust from gas engines, and the pesticide DDT. So what has changed? How strong is the evidence? Our Jim Sciutto has spent the entire day questioning the experts. He's here now. Jim.
Well, Diane, this is a first, and it's a big reversal for the WHO, which had insisted there is no evidence of a link between cell phones and cancer. Now it says it has found that evidence, and while it's still collecting data, felt it was necessary to issue this warning now.
This is your brain with a cell phone turned off, and this is your brain with a cell phone turned on. Notice the red areas at the top. Studies had already established that radiation from cell phones increases brain activity. Today, for the first time, the WHO concluded that low-level radiation from cell phones could possibly cause cancer. A 2010 study they examined showed participants who used cell phones for more than 10 years had double the rate of a rare type of brain tumor called a glioma. Placing cell phones in the same category as lead and engine exhaust, the director of the WHO's cancer research arm said in a statement, "Given the potential consequences for public health, it is important to take pragmatic measures to reduce exposure." A small but growing group of scientists say that since the cancers involved take years, even decades to develop, there is a need to act now.
A lot more research needs to be done, but science is very slow on these matters. It took decades to move from cigarettes may cause harm to cigarettes actually cause harm.
Today, CTIA, the group representing the wireless industry, noted the WHO did not conduct any new research, adding, in the past it's given the same score to pickled vegetables and coffee. Ellie Marks blames her husband's brain cancer on 20 years of cell phone use. noting his tumor grew on the side of his head where he held his cell phone. We noticed that even some cell phone companies recommend keeping phones at a distance from the body. For the iPhone, 5/8 of an inch. For the BlackBerry, a full inch.
So it doesn't work with the power. It works because of the erratic nature of the signal. And studies conducted in Europe in 12 different laboratories have shown that the weaker signal from today's modern phones can actually be more damaging than the signals from the earlier phones, because the pulse digital signal disrupts the membranes, weakens the blood-brain barrier, and that's why it can damage DNA. We know enough now to take simple precautions, and we don't need to stop using phones. We just need to be smarter about how we do.
Right, which is why I think that this can go the wrong way for the cell phone industry or the right way. If they know something, tell us, and we can change it. Unlike smoking, as you've said, we can figure out ways to use cell phones more effectively.